Let's pivot to the Indo-Pacific economic framework. And I'm just wondering whether this is just proof, without a great deal of substance, of the US re-engaging in this region after the Trump-era isolationism.
Yeah, I think that the sentiment here on the ground that I'm hearing is that there's genuine happiness that the United States is beginning to, formally re-engage. As, they're coming back to things almost without openly acknowledging the Trump era, but sort of acknowledging the Trump era and saying, we're here to help you with a framework. We're going to design a framework. We're going to have parameters for the conversation. And that in itself is significant. But in terms of actual, dollars and cents, there isn't a lot there yet. Is there a framework where perhaps they're, gaining that and that coming on board? For sure. But at this time, nothing really solid.
And it's interesting that even President Biden himself has been almost understating the significance of IPEF. Is this an official trade pact? No, it isn't yet, but it might be. Is this a foot in the door? Yes, it is. Does this mean an enforceable set of standards? Well, not at this point in time. Does this mean tariffs and it's easier for US businesses to enter the signatory countries of those 12 under the IPEF framework? We don't know at this stage. What is really interesting is that maybe this is just an add-on. The real substance was in South Korea when President Biden was talking to Samsung about engaging more in the US.
Yes, and that factory, that Samsung factory that he toured with the new president, Yoon, is actually the model for a proposed Samsung factory that they're planning to build in the United States. So the symbolism there is undeniable. I think that a country like South Korea, and we've discussed this amongst ourselves, like South Korea, like Japan, or even like a Singapore, perhaps, is there's clearly a lot to gain entering this framework. You do Biden a favor politically, right? If you come forward and you say, yeah, we're signed on to the IPEF, it's sort of an acknowledgement that, yeah, the U.S. is back at the table, and we're glad to see it. We're going to engage here. But as we were discussing earlier, if you're Indonesia, as you said, there's nothing in there about tariffs. Significantly, there's nothing in there about access to U.S. markets,
right,
which is what a Philippines is going to want, which is what a Vietnam is going to want. And it's just not there.